Hello, welcome to another episode. Today we will take a quick look at John 1 verse 14 and Revelation 19 verse 13. Be blessed as you listen. When we read John chapter 1 verse 14, such a familiar passage, yet its depth is always breathtaking. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. It's hard to, fully grasp the gravity of this statement if we're honest. This single verse speaks to the heart of the Incarnation, the truth that Jesus is fully divine, yet fully human. And this duality, this mysterious union, is essential to our faith. Now think about this. For the Word, which is God Himself, to become flesh, what does that really mean? It means that God didn't just send a message or a messenger. He literally came to dwell in human form. Christ didn't simply visit humanity. He took on humanity. He chose to live within the bounds of skin, muscle, our limitations. It's profound, isn't it? Then we see the phrase, dwelt among us. And this isn't just poetic language. The word used here is rich. It ties back to the Old Testament, where God's presence was with the Israelites in the tabernacle, the place of meeting. But now in Jesus, God didn't dwell in a tent or a building. He was right here among us, walking the dusty roads, eating with His disciples, experiencing life as we do. It's, humbling. God was so committed to engaging with His creation that He would step into the story as one of us. And it doesn't stop there. The Incarnation reshapes everything we believe as Christians. Think about Christ's birth. It isn't just about a baby in a manger. It's about God coming close, about heaven touching earth in a truly tangible way. It's a reminder that God's presence isn't distant or abstract. His presence is very, very real. The Incarnation assures us of that, especially as we reflect on the vastness of God's love. So, when we talk about the Word becoming flesh, it calls us to awe, reverence, and gratitude. It reminds us that God's intention was always relational, always to dwell with us in the closest way possible. When we turn to Revelation 19 verse 13, we see a striking portrayal of Jesus. It says, "He is clothed in a robe dipped in blood, and the name by which He is called is the Word of God." It's a profound and, vivid description, a stark contrast to the tender image of the Word becoming flesh in John 1. Here, Jesus is depicted as a divine warrior, a triumphant king who brings both judgment and salvation. This name, the Word of God, reminds us of who Jesus is in essence. He is the ultimate expression of God's will, the living embodiment of His truth and power. And in Revelation 19, we see Him fulfilling this role as the one who brings victory over evil. His robe dipped in blood points to His sacrifice, but also to His authority over sin and death. It's a picture of both grace and justice intertwined. What's remarkable is how this vision ties back to Jesus' mission, as described in John 1. The Word was with God in the beginning. Through Him, all things were made. He became flesh to dwell among us, to bring grace and truth. And now, in Revelation, we see the culmination of His purpose, the Word leading God's plan to completion, bringing about a new creation and establishing His kingdom in fullness. It's, breathtaking to consider this continuity. And the message of Revelation is one of hope, isn't it? Despite the imagery of conflict and judgment, it's ultimately about the victory of Christ. It's a reminder that no matter how dark the world seems, God's purposes will prevail. Jesus will return, not as the humble servant, but as the conquering King, bringing peace and restoration to a broken world. And this promise, this certainty, is what sustains our faith as we wait expectantly for his return. So, as we reflect on the Word of God, from the Incarnation to the cross and now to this triumphant vision in Revelation, we're reminded of God's unchanging plan, his faithfulness, and his love. It invites us to worship, trust, and be part of his mission in this world, living with the hope of what's to come. Please accept Jesus today. Start your walk with him and see how he transforms your life. Thank you for listening. God bless.